We're here at Hyalite headquarters, aka the tiny office. I'm Taylor. We got Jacob Rountree here.
Yes, we do.
Let's see. So, where are you originally from?
Originally from Spokane, Washington. I've been Bozeman for 5 years now.
Yeah.
But born in New Mexico, Albuquerque, and then I was 4 when I moved out to Spokane. Nice. So definitely would call Spokane the old stomping grounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and then you said, when did you move here to Bozeman again?
2015.
2015. Nice. Yep. For school or just?
Yep. Came out here for engineering.
Nice.
Went to Montana State.
Yeah.
Did the 4 years there, and yeah.
Heck
So originally came out for school, and obviously the mountains, kind of like everyone else.
Yeah.
The landscape and the nature, and then the university on top.
What initially inspired you, as far as I want to play music or a specific instrument or genre?
Yeah, I've been super fortunate to have good parents that put me in piano lessons when I was elementary school.
Yeah.
That was all classical though, and so it wasn't really fun. It was very rigid. And I don't remember a lot of it by any means, but I think that probably had to start something in my head. I had an uncle that played guitar growing up, and I just remember him sitting on the back patio and how cool that was when people would gather around. And so that was a big part of it. And then, then just growing up, diving into genres and artists like Ben Howard, Matt Corby, a little more
nice.
Angus Julia Stone, a little more of the indie acoustic kind of stuff. It's really what drew me in, and that's kind of the genre I like. But by all means, I listen to everything.
Nice.
That's
awesome.
Those are probably my inspirational artists.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. When did you start performing? No, you said.
I guess I did like a couple high school things.
Yeah.
I think my first performance was in my high school auditorium. It was actually an Angus and Julia Stone cover with a couple buddies. That was a fun one.
That's awesome.
The lights. The lighting crew messed up in the middle of our set, and it was dark for like half of it, so we couldn't see. So that was my start right there.
Nice.
So it's been up since. But yeah, then once I came to Bozeman, open micing at Zocalo was when I really started to get going. Started getting a scene, started getting more confident and experimenting, and that's when I really started writing originals. Was
cool.
2015.
2015.
Yeah, and then slowly went from coffee shop to coffee shop, and then worked my way to breweries, and now we're at some small venues. But
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So when did you start playing in more of a setting of just solo? When did you start adding people to your live?
Yeah, I've been doing it solo for about 5 years.
Nice.
Only in the last year did I find Marcus, the drummer.
Yeah.
And Marcus was a music tech major at Montana State actually too, so he's super knowledgeable and knows what he's doing. And I went through quite a few drummers before I found Marcus, and super glad I found him. So started with Marcus. It's been just over a year, him and I playing together now. And then I think Leah's probably at like 5-6 months now.
Nice.
Singing and playing bass with us. So it's just the 3-piece right now, but it's awesome to expand and collaborate with you. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I like the sound of all three of you guys when I saw you at the filling station. That was
Sweet.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Let's see. So I guess here's a couple questions. What's the music scene like in Bozeman? Does it conducive to what you want to do, or
no?
Yeah.
It's a struggle, man.
Yeah, for sure.
By all means, in the 5 years I've been here, I've seen it start to grow, and there's people like yourself really pushing some really cool creative spaces, and that's fun to be a part of that and to watch it grow. But it is still saturated with jam bands and funk and just kind of the bar drunk scene, and everyone just wants to dance.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the more emotional, kind of connect, soul building is kind of what I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of that here. And unfortunately, there's some really talented kids that are stuck in coffee shops still purely because they're not danceable or... So I'm really trying to work hard and stay true to myself, but you still gotta, if you want the bigger venues, you gotta evolve a little bit. But it's been a fun process by all means. But it's an interesting music scene. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Well, as far as pure inspiration goes, what inspires your music the most? Whether it's like the surrounding area or...
it's usually people. Connections, relationships, family, kind of everything. Just analyzing relationships, whether it's the selfish perspective or the other person's perspective, or yeah, it could be girlfriends, it could be family, it could just be making fun of myself kind of things.
Yeah.
I would say relationships are probably the biggest one. People. Yeah.
Cool. Do you find a lot of inspiration from like the outdoors, like locally?
Absolutely. I dabbled in photography a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of your photos.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. But that's actually kind of why I originally wanted to come out to Montana, was photography in the mountains.
Nice.
So by all means, nature and environment is a big aspect to that, and I have a lot of nature metaphors, I suppose. So
Yeah.
that is definitely part of it.
What would you describe your work as? And maybe, yeah, I guess just that for now.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's funny, we debate about because you can have like your bio, that's a couple sentences, but we always debate over like the elevator pitch of if you can put your genre in one thing. You gotta have it. I think alternative folk is the best way I found it. Acoustic rock is super simple, super vague, but it is storytelling, so it still has some folk aspects, but it's once we start producing a little more and stuff like that, I would be super open to a little more digital sounds and stuff, so it's kind of this indie alternative folk.
Cool.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you already said a few as influences, but is there any specific, maybe as far as style of playing that you look toward?
Ben Howard, I found him back in high school, and just for some reason I was never super into picks back when I was playing in high school. I just lost them all the time or something, so I stuck with my fingers, and that was a guy that just killed it at the fingerstyle guitar. And then once I saw that he was doing all these crazy down tunings too, that just opened up a whole new world for me. And so I think that was where a lot of deep passion came in, and by all means that guy's lyrics are incredible too. So yeah, I would say he's probably the number one, but there's a lot, and for some reason so many of them are Australian. A lot of my inspirations are Australian. But
that's awesome. Cool. Let's see. All right, well, let's do two more, and then we'll get into it. So, what other local musicians, even Montana, Bozeman, whatever, around the state, who else do you look up to as far as local inspiration?
Cole Thorne has been super helpful.
Nice.
She's been super supportive, answered lots of questions. Joe Knapp is another one, by all means, too. Peter King with the Dead Yellers. Recently got connected with those guys, and super inspirational by all means. And then there's also just some really good buddies. Cooper Tedford, him and I kind of started doing the same thing, this more acoustic stuff, and I went and got the band, and now he's drumming in other bands, so he's killing it in his own ways too.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess are you working on any current projects, or is there anything we can look forward to?
Yeah. I'm sitting on 11 unrecorded songs right now.
Nice.
Been building the band for the last year, so recording's been kind of put on hold, and then COVID happened. So we had studio dates about a month and a half ago. That's been pushed back, but really any weekend now I think we're going to start that up soon. So I'm still deciding if that's going to be a full album or a couple releases. Now with everything being digital and Spotify based, albums aren't necessarily the hot commodity anymore. But nonetheless, it's an album worth of songs. They'll be coming out hopefully by summer or end of summer.
All right, sweet. Well, thanks. Let's just get into it.
Sweet, awesome.
All right.